April 21st, New Orleans, Misfits Boxing is coming. And what a main event we have here. JMX, Le'Veon Bell, they're going to take over. We're joined by Le'Veon now. Very good afternoon to you, Le'Veon. How are you doing? Welcome to Misfits.
Man, thanks for having me, bro. I feel great. I feel great.
Talk to me a little bit about this fight. What do you know about the opponent?
Um, I seen this last match. He's a solid guy. I'm solid opponent. He put on a good, a good show for the people for his last match. He won. Obviously, got knocked out. Um, so it's gonna be a good fight. I'm ready. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to really go in there and dance around with my guy. And we'll see what happens. I'm excited to put on the show.
Talk to me a little bit about yourself, if you would. Have you been training? How much have you been training? What kind of performance can we expect from you on fight night?
But yeah, so obviously I've been training. I would say so. I fought in October. I think I probably took like 3-4 days off after my fight in October, and I've been training probably like 6 days a week since then. Um, some days twice a week. Just because of the fact that I know how serious I am with the sport. I know how tough this sport is, and for people to take me serious, I gotta obviously up my game, up my level, because I'm stepping into the game, kind of behind the eight ball in a sense, because I picked up boxing, 2-3 years ago, so I'm behind the eight ball in the sense of that. So I know I gotta, I've been training nonstop 6 days a week since October to get my skill level to where I needed to get. So I'm comfortable when I'm in the ring with anybody I step in the ring with. That's kind of been my mindset, since I knew that I was, taking it serious. That's been my mindset, and I'm eager. I cannot wait until April 21st to showcase, what I've been working on, bro. I'm just so excited.
Talk to me a little bit about that transition, Le'Veon, from going from football to boxing, two demanding sports, two high-profile sports, but ultimately two very different sports. How have you found that transition?
Yeah, they're like you said, they're totally different. But I think football, growing up playing football with like the workouts and like mentality wise and just being an athlete overall, it helped me transition over to the sport of boxing. And don't get me wrong, boxing is completely different. It's like the workouts are, super intense. Like they're a lot different. It's a lot more like cardio than in football, but the transition for me, it helped just because the competitive nature about it, the competitive nature about being a boxer. I'm going there and compete with another guy, a football, a guy trying to take your head off, and boxing, a guy trying to take your head off, so I think just that competitive edge is kind of like the similarities with it,
Yeah.
but they're so different when you get in the ring just because, boxing, you're by yourself, you playing football, you got a full team with you. You got guys you can depend on. Guys can help you out when you're not, fully yourself. If you're not fully, up to date or 100%. In boxing, it's like, you do what you do in training camp. You go out there in the ring, and it's on you.
Absolutely.
So I embrace it. I embrace it. And I love it.
Talk to me a little bit about what you've learned from your two fights so far. High-profile fights, a lot of attention on you, of course. What have you learned from those fights? How have you developed as a fighter?
Yeah, man, I learned so much. Man, it's crazy you brought up those two fights because both of those fights I learned so much from. The first fight, I won. I'm in a knockout, and I learned. I watched that fight over and over again, and I was critiquing myself and trying to make sure I was being my best self for my next fight. And then my next fight was literally like 5.5 weeks later. They called me like last minute. I got on the show and they called me for Uriah for my second fight, and I ended up losing that fight. And that fight taught me even more than me losing. That taught me even more than when I actually won, because when I went there and I lost, it was a guy who had the experience of 17 years of fighting, and so when I watched that film and I was just watching the things he was doing in the ring, and he was making me do certain things that I might not have been comfortable with, and that was just him like controlling the ring. And I think me learning in that loss, me fighting in that loss, I learned so much to just ring controlment and ring generalship and defense and knowing when to fight and knowing when to box, knowing when to get out of things, taking certain angles. Uriah probably didn't even realize it, but he taught me so much in that ring, and I feel like each and every round I got better. So I used that loss for motivation. I really just I took about 3-4 days off after that, and I dug down and I went in there and worked literally every day on things that I could perfect, and I still watch that fight damn near every day.
This is it, man. You don't lose, you learn. And a fight like that with a fighter like that, who, like you say, okay, slightly different sport, but has been in the fight game for a long time. What we learned about you in the first fight is you got hands. Is the fight with JMX with Joel? Is this going to go the distance in your opinion?
Um, I mean, honestly, I don't. I'm a guy who I'm trying to get it done early. You know what I'm saying? I'm not promising a knockout, but what I am doing is I will go in there and I'm gonna handle business. I'm gonna make sure I'm hitting and not getting hit. At the end of the day, if I don't knock him out, I don't knock him out, but he will get beat up.
He says he's made it quite clear who he wants to fight in the future. He's made it very clear. He said it before his last fight on Misfits against Ginty. The Logan Paul is on the road. He wants to go there. Do you see this as a way to not only derail that, but is that a fight that maybe you would seek to go for if you were to get the win, or do you not think that far ahead?
Well, actually, I actually did call out Logan. He was a guy who I wanted to fight too. I want to fight Logan.
Yeah.
At some point, I feel like that would make sense. But yeah, JMX, he probably shouldn't be looking past me. Like, I mean, because at the end of the day, it's like I feel like this fight is kind of like maybe like a setup fight for the Logan Paul fight, and if that's a guy I want to fight, yeah, I can't lose this match. So yeah, JMX, he's gonna have to. It's gonna be a fun one, bro. It's gonna be fun.
JMX's last fight against Ginty, he got knocked down early, came back, rallied and got the win. Many were expecting him to go through Ginty significantly easier than he did, but he got the W. What did you learn from him? You said you've seen that fight back. What did you learn about JMX in that fight?
No, he got a little will. He got a little punch. He got like a little solid little power to him. He's long. Both of those guys was kind of big. Both of those guys was a little taller than me, but they're both. In that fight, I feel like it was a little sloppy at first. I think once they settled in, it got a little better. But I think that's why JMX got caught with that punch. He was a little sloppy. Even the Ginty, he got caught with punch because he was sloppy. I think both of those guys was kind of sloppy in the beginning. And I feel like getting in the ring with me and being sloppy is going to be the end of the match. So yeah, it won't be enough time to be sloppy with me.
Let me ask you, Le'Veon, just finally, it's a great honour to speak to you. It's a great honour to have you join in the Misfits universe. Just talk to me a little bit about why Misfits. I mean, new company, we've gone from strength to strength, obviously, in the short time we've been about. But what do you know about the company and what does it mean to you to be fighting with us?
Man, Misfit, I know they got a lot going on. Like, I've been watching the cards. One of my guys, Dean Gray, he's like one of my guys. I start training with him. I like when I think I watched him on the fight, and I'm thinking like, damn, like this is lit. Like it looked fire, like fighting in front of all them people. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it's like the overall like it's kind of like the feel about it, like the gravitational pull to it. Like it's kind of like everybody in the boxing influence community like kind of knows about it, and I like it. I'm like it because you get a fight in there and you win and you're impressive. It's like it kind of carries and like people in the boxing world kind of hear about it. So I knew like this is like it'd be a great opportunity for me. I'm glad I even got the opportunity to even fight on this card. I'm blessed to even I'm honored to be asked to fight. And I can't wait to go out there and put on a show for everybody.
What kind of night can New Orleans expect in April?
Man, they expect fireworks. I'm a guy who, obviously if you follow me in football, every time I step on that field, I'll put on a show. I'll put on something special. Every time you watch me, you didn't know what people were waiting what they're going to see. Like, I didn't know what was going to expect. That's how I'm going to be in boxing. When I come in, I'm obviously going in trying to obviously get the win, but I'm trying to do it in spectacular fashion. I'm trying to beat up a guy. If I catch a guy and knock him out, so be it. But I'm trying to go in there and really put on a show and beat guys up and show them they shouldn't be in the ring with me.
let me put you on the spot just finally, if I may. Le'Veon, final thing from us. If you look straight into the camera and passed a message to JMX right now, what would you say to him?
Hey, JMX, you better come prepared, bro. It's going to be a hell of a fight, brother.
Sure.
Sweet, straight to the point. April 21st. Le'Veon Bell, thank you so much for joining us, brother. We cannot wait to see you come fight week. And listen, there's a lot of content to come, I'm sure. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me so much, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Le'Veon Bell, JMX, they come to New Orleans April 21st. It's live on the Zone. We can't wait. Thanks again.